But I wanted to sit down and make a quick video before I let time keep getting past me to let you know how closing day went. We did close on June 28th. I'm super excited. So it's been almost a week since we have been homeowners. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. I am Jazzie.RayShaune and I am back with another video. This is not an update to our NACA home buying journey, because if you've been following along, you know that we have already closed on our home. I just wanted to come with a video that kind of did like a full recap or a timeline of our NACA journey, and then I kind of want to give a little bit of a review of what I thought of our process and the NACA program overall. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it. I got my notes here so that I don't forget, because it's a lot of dates and information to remember as far as our timeline is concerned. But I'll go ahead and jump right in. So we started our process in February of this year, February 26th. We went to the initial NACA workshop, which is a requirement. You do have to go to or attend the workshop in order to become a NACA member, or even, you know, get into the NACA program. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour long workshop. I don't believe ours was that long. I'm not sure if the person who was giving the presentation was just speeding through it, but I feel like we didn't even reach the 3 hour mark. I could be wrong, but it didn't seem that long, probably because I was receiving so much good information that it didn't seem that long. But yeah, it's typically 3.5 to 4 hours long. So in that presentation, they explain what NACA is, what their mission is, what all they do, what all they offer. After we did that on February 26th, I was sold. During the webinar or the workshop, it sounded too good to be true. But I was like, this is a legit program that I want to be a part of. This is how I want us to get our first home. Because you can't beat everything they were offering. No down payment, no closing costs, no PMI, below market fixed interest rate. And I really appreciate the fact that NACA wants to ensure that you are prepared and ready to purchase a home. And that you can actually afford the home, not just to purchase it, but to live in it after the fact. They don't want you to purchase a home and you're never there because you work in 2-3 different jobs just to keep up with the mortgage. So that is one thing that I do really love about NACA, is that they do try to set you up for success and make sure that you are prepared, not just to purchase, but to actually, you know, still live a good life after you purchase your home. So we did that on February 26th. Created our web file. We started uploading documents, I want to say that same day. It took us all the way through March 9th to get everything uploaded. There was a lot of different information that we needed. So on March 9th, after we had everything uploaded, we went ahead and called the NACA customer service to schedule an intake meeting. I believe you can do it online, but our web file wasn't allowing us to, what am I trying to say? To schedule the appointment, because it wanted our March bank statement, I believe. No, they wanted our February bank statement, but our February bank statement hadn't been released yet. So we had to call and they just pushed it through since we didn't have a February bank statement yet. So they scheduled our appointment. Our appointment was scheduled for March 29th, which wasn't too far out. In the meantime, so from March 9th all the way up until our intake appointment with our mortgage counselor, we were still uploading pay stubs or any other statements that came in, bank statements or credit card statements. That way, once we did meet with the mortgage counselor, we'd have the most up-to-date information and wouldn't have so much of an action plan after we met with our mortgage counselor. So we had our intake meeting on March 29th. That went well. Absolutely love our mortgage counselor. Shout out to you, girl. But she was very knowledgeable, and she got straight to the point. But our mortgage counselor, absolutely love her. She provided us all the information we needed. She gave us an action plan, which wasn't lengthy at all. It was information that we could get to her like immediately, which is what we did. We were able to get all of our information or documentation that she needed uploaded or emailed directly to her. By April 5th, we were submitted for NACA qualification. So we had our intake meeting on March 29th. April 5th, by April 5th, we were able to provide her with all the documentation from our action plan, and we were submitted for NACA qualification. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, y'all. I just don't want this to be a super long video. So I'm just trying to get through all this information. So we were submitted for NACA qualification on April 5th. 2 days later, on April 7th, we were NACA qualified. We didn't receive any conditions or anything like that. We were NACA qualified 2 days later, which was amazing. I was excited about that. I'd much rather spend a lot of time looking for a home as opposed to trying to get qualified. So I was grateful for that. So we got NACA qualified on April 7th. On April 14th, we attended the purchase workshop, which is also a requirement. You must attend the purchase workshop before you can actually start searching for a home, and they hold these every Thursday. So ours was on April 14th. After the purchase workshop, that's when you get credit saying that you attended so that you can start searching for homes. So that was on a Thursday. Our credit didn't hit our web file until April 18th, that following Monday. And our status changed to housing search. So this just let us know that we were able to start searching for a home. So we did that. So we started looking for, well, we didn't start looking for a home yet. Let me back up because there's some dates I left out of here, or at least one date. Once we were NACA qualified, our mortgage counselor sent us 2 realtors to reach out to if we didn't already have one. One was in-house and one was a NACA certified realtor. So that's something that's also a requirement. You can't just work with anyone. They either have to be an in-house NACA realtor or someone who is NACA certified, which means they've, I think there's some type of webinar or something they have to attend so that they can get familiar with the program and then become NACA certified. Don't quote me on that. That information is on the NACA website. About what a realtor has to do to become NACA certified, but I don't think it's too difficult. So we reached out to both of them actually, to let them know that we received their information from our mortgage counselor and that we wanted to meet or have a phone call, whatever the case may be, to kind of get a feel for them and see which one would be the best fit for us. Both realtors reached out to us. I think one did before the other. So the one that reached out to us first is the one we ended up going with. He was very professional. He gave us a little bit of information about him, sent us a survey so he can get to know us better, get a feel for us, not just for what we were looking for in a home, but who we were, what our personality was. So that could, be beneficial for him as he's helping us throughout the home search. So we actually scheduled an appointment to meet with him. Very great guy. And come to find out, he was our mortgage counselor. He's our mortgage counselor's husband. So that was a plus. She did not tell us that up front. We didn't find that out until after we went and met with him. But before we even knew who he was, we were already like, this is who we're going with. Shout out to our realtor. So we went ahead and got under contract with him, and then by April 18th we were able to start doing home search with him. About a week or so after the home search, we attended the hand property qualification webinar. That was on April 26th. That is also a required webinar you must attend. Basically, in that webinar, the hand department basically just goes over how you get your home, hand cleared. So that's something that you have to attend so you can already know this information ahead of time, even well before you actually find the home that you want to put an offer in on. So we attended that webinar. So we were looking at several homes, y'all. We put in, I think, 5 offers total. And our offer finally got accepted on May 23rd on our current home, which we absolutely love. So it went under contract on May 23rd. On May 25th, we got our whole house inspection. So we got the whole house inspection on May 25th, and the appraiser came out that same day, which was a plus. We were so excited to know that the appraiser came out so quickly. We probably didn't get the appraisal back till about a week later, but I was just happy that they came out the same day as the inspection. So we got that done on the 25th. On the 26th, we had our credit access appointment with our mortgage counselor. This was to get us prepared to be submitted for credit access. We were actually submitted for credit access that same day because I believe there was one thing on our action plan that we needed to give her, and we were able to give that to her immediately. The very next day on May 27th, we received notification that we had conditions. So our status changed to credit access pending. The condition, I don't even know if I can remember what it was. I think they wanted May bank statement. May wasn't over yet. I think that's what they wanted. You'll have to go back and watch some of the videos, child, because I can't remember exactly what they wanted, but I think that's what they wanted. So by June 2nd, whatever they requested, we were able to get that submitted to them, and we were submitted for credit access again, and we were credit access approved that same day, and that was June 2nd. So it was submitted that morning, and we were approved that same day. Once we were credit access approved, the very next day, June 3rd, we had switched over to the mortgage process, and our bank application was submitted. So our mortgage counselor sent us all the bank application forms that we needed to complete. We sent them back to her immediately, and we were able to get submitted that day. Now, notice the pattern. I keep saying we submitted stuff immediately. Like, we made sure that whenever she requested anything of us, that we were able to get that to her immediately, because we didn't want to be the holdup in anything. If there was ever a holdup, we didn't want it to be on us. So anytime she needed documentation, we were on it immediately. And then we work from home, so it was easy for us to just stop what we were doing, get that documentation to her. But even though we do work from home, we're not always at home. So I kept our documents on a flash drive and on Google Drive too. I had them on Google Drive. That way, if we were out somewhere, I can just go through my phone and submit it to whatever it was she needed. So that was the pattern that kind of helped us, move along faster. I know that sometimes there can be holdups, especially in the home buying process, but we didn't want to be the cause of it. So we were submitted for bank application on June 3rd. And on that same day, we received our NACA repair list. Keep in mind that our hand repair list. We had our whole house inspection on May 25th, and that was submitted to the hand department. So by June 3rd, they had reviewed it and sent us a list of the repairs that were needed. There were no required repairs on that list. There was one recommended, but no required, because they only had our house inspection. They didn't have our radon, our termite, or sewer inspection. We got all of that. Remember I said we got whole house inspection. Apparently they didn't get those reports, so we submitted those to them. So we submitted those reports to them. On June 7th, I got a call from the hand department saying, hey, did you get our repair list? I'm like, yeah, we got the repair list. We submitted the missing inspection reports that you needed. And so the lady that I spoke was like, okay, I'm going to get this pushed forward so we can see that if there are any required repairs stemming from the reports that you submitted. So that was on June 7th. On June 9th, we received conditions from the bank. I'm trying to remember what they were. I think one of them was they wanted to know for sure. They wanted my husband to confirm that he was indeed a remote employee, because I don't know if I mentioned this in previous videos, but in order to be a NACA member, you have to occupy the home. This is not a program for investors. So you can't be working in one state and living in another. Unless it's like where I live, Kansas and Missouri, you can definitely cross state lines and be, you can be 5 minutes away from Missouri if you live in Kansas. But I believe the headquarters for his job, I can't remember where it was, but it wasn't Kansas or Missouri. So they wanted to confirm that he was indeed a remote employee. So he just submitted the form that they have for his job that says he is a remote employee. He submitted that. And then they also wanted to know why his W-2 didn't match his current salary. Well, he got a raise, a promotion. So we were able to submit a letter of explanation about that. So we submitted those. I'm sure it was the same day we submitted those. June 15th, the bank came back again with conditions. This time, on one of the forms that I completed for the bank application, my address was missing street. So let's say my address is 123 Main Street. It said 123 Main on the form. So my mortgage counselor just retyped it up, added street. I printed it off, signed it, sent it back to her that same day. We were good to go. June 17th, I got a call from the hand department telling me what the required repairs were. Remember, we submitted those 3 inspection reports, but we hadn't heard back to know if any required repairs stem from that. So she did tell me that we did have 2 required repairs. One was the radon mitigation, and one was hydrojetting for the sewer. So she told me that, and we already knew that we wanted to waive those required repairs. So in order to do that, we had to submit a waiver request form, and then we also had to submit estimates from licensed contractors showing how much the work would be, because the hand department has to determine if we can afford to get those required repairs fixed on our own. So we spent that weekend getting estimates, and we were able to get those estimates submitted on that following Monday, June 20th. So we submitted the estimates and the waiver request form. On June 21st, we were cleared to close. So it was cleared to close pending verbal verification of employment. That same day, about a couple of hours later, our status changed to clear to close final. So they had done the verbal verification of employment, and we were switched over to clear to close final. That same day, we also were hand cleared. Hand had reviewed our estimates, seeing that we could afford to get the required repairs fixed on our own, and we were hand cleared. So that all happened in one day on June 21st. June 23rd, we received our closing disclosure. It explained what our mortgage was, PITI, that's the principal, interest, taxes, and your homeowner's insurance, what our interest rate was, what we would bring to the closing table. It included all that information. So we made sure to review that to make sure everything was accurate, which it was. So since now our closing date was supposed to be June 30th. But since we were cleared to close on June 21st, we were able to close a couple days earlier. So we did our final walkthrough on June 27th, and then we closed the very next day on June 28th. So in its entirety, our process started February 26th, and we closed on June 28th. So that's what? 4 months. 4 months we went through the NACA program. So I was very grateful that it only took us 4 months to get through the NACA program. Yeah, I know I didn't go over a lot of stuff in detail in this video, but I have a playlist. If you haven't watched it already, I have a playlist giving you information, detailed information about our NACA home buying journey. So if you haven't watched it yet, be sure to go back and watch that. But I just wanted to give a recap and give you just an overview of what our timeline was, and the length of time we went through the NACA program. But I would recommend NACA to anybody. Even if you do run into bumps, it's well worth it. Like, you cannot beat what all they are offering and what they stand for. You can't beat that anywhere else. Even our credit union was telling us there's no way we could give you what NACA is giving you, because they wanted us to get our first home through them. And they were like, we can't match that. So I'm very grateful for NACA. We love our home, y'all. I'm sitting in our basement right now. We absolutely love our home. Today is July 13th. So it's been, a couple of weeks now. But I'm excited. We've slowly but surely been moving things in, getting new furniture for the home. I haven't really started decorating. I'm just trying to get the big piece items in here. But enough about that. I loved everything, went so smoothly with NACA. There were some small bumps, but I expected it. I was expecting the worst. So the little bumps that we did hit, like I wasn't like, okay, that's a wrap, I just give up. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't have much to say because it didn't take us long to get through the process. But I'd recommend NACA to anybody if you're getting ready to or looking to purchase a home. I recommend that you at least attend the initial workshop just to hear them out, see what it is they have to offer. Because even though I'm telling you this, I'm sure there's something I'm leaving out, more information that they'll provide to you in that workshop. But I encourage you to at least do that. Do your own research and get prepared. Even if you don't plan on purchasing a home until the end of the year or next year, get ready. Like, get prepared. Have all your documentation. Keep track of all your documentation. That way, when it's time to start submitting it, you'll be good to go and won't have anything to worry about. But I don't want this video to be long. If you have followed us throughout this journey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, the encouraging words, the congratulations. Thank you so much. And like I said from the beginning, I want us all to win. I want us all to get ahead. I want us all to be homeowners. That's why I made this playlist. But I'm very grateful. But if I can do it, if we can do it, child, you can too. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. You made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.